How's it going, Twitch? My name is Skull, and on behalf of East Asia Soft, welcome to today's stream. Today I am continuing my playthrough of If My Heart Had Wings, out now on Nintendo Switch, distributed through EAS. The game is sold out through PlayAsia if you want it physically, but we do still have plenty of other games for you to buy physically if you want, including Love Kami Trilogy, which is made by the exact same team that made this game. And through the month of November, so for the next 3 days, if you spend $49 or more at PlayAsia.com, you get free worldwide shipping. Totally worth it. So if you want to pre-order Love Kami Trilogy, if you want to pre-order Love Esquire, or if you want to pick up a few of our physical games that have been out for a while but we still have some copies of, head over to PlayAsia, spend $49, get free shipping. Seems like a good deal to me. Also, if you are not up to date on what's going on, this is my 16th day playing this game. We archive every single Twitch stream onto our YouTube channel. So head over there, youtube.com/EastAsiaSoft to get caught up or to binge this series all over again after we're done. Anyway, so let's go ahead and load into If My Heart Had Wings, Day 16. We're coming into the duck saying quack.
Quack, quack. どうしたの、ハットちゃん。もうお腹いっぱい?
Hattie, who had been eating his food, suddenly started making a commotion. He ignored his food and started flapping around the dining room.
ハットちゃん.
What's with him? It wasn't like him to just leave his food, much like my cat. It couldn't be. I ran for the entrance, trailing a bit behind Hattie. Standing there was...
あんた、いい子にしてた?
Well, sitting there was...
かが.
Kotori gathered Hattie onto her lap and stroked his back. Kotori!
葵くん.
Kotori looked at me and then timidly averted her gaze. But I couldn't keep my eyes off of her. Even though we'd only been apart for a few days, it felt like much longer. Welcome back, Kotori.
ただいま.
Her bashful smile was overwhelmingly cute. I wonder if
これが
this...
アゲハので、こっちがアマネちゃん。で、あったあった。これが朝と夜の分。
I wonder if this would all be playing out like this if we ended up on a different route. My guess is no. But in any case, just seeing her happy makes me happy. Kotori distributed out some presents she had brought back.
パンダクッキーだ。かわいい。で、これがカナの。おお、ワニのスリッパだ。かっこいい。ありがとう。写真もたくさん撮ってきたのよ。
Kotori spread out the pictures she took on the table.
トラでしょ？ワニでしょ？それから見て見て。ハットの仲間たち。
Asa and the others looked at the pictures excitedly. Remember, she visited a zoo. Here you are, Hibari. I gave some cold barley tea to Hibari, who was sitting a distance away.
いただきます。今日も暑いからたくさん汗かいちゃって。
From what I heard, it sounded like Kotori's dad had work again from today. He must have reluctantly handed over the role of bringing back Kotori to Hibari. Did you have a good time back home?
父も母もすごく喜んでいました。小鳥ちゃんが帰ってきてくれて。
So everyone's so happy. Everyone's so happy, and that's just such a great thing. Kotori, who was excitedly talking about the zoo pictures she had laid out, narrowed her eyes and stared at Hibari.
まるで昔に戻ったみたいで。
Then she was overcome with emotion and began to cry. Are you okay, Hibari?
ごめんなさい。 つい嬉しくて。
I quietly handed her a tissue.
これもトビウオソウの皆さんのおかげだと両親も感謝していました。小鳥ちゃんが帰るって言ってくれたのは水瀬さんのおかげなんですよね。
Me? No, I didn't really.
小鳥ちゃんがそう言ってましたよ。
I see. I want you to say more things like that. It's not weird when you say it, Allie. I probably just guided her a little. I think she wanted to go home for a while. It was just that she needed a little push. Hibari looked at me with kindness in her eyes. Hibari?
帰りの車の中で小鳥ちゃんから聞きました。今お付き合いなさってるんですよね。
Yes, I have the honor of dating your sister.
そう、小鳥ちゃんに彼氏が。
Such a sad day, I guess. She started crying again. However, her tears didn't seem to be only those of happiness. Here you go.
ありがとう。
Hibari took a tissue, blew her nose, and wiped her tears away.
小鳥ちゃんのことよろしくお願いしますね。ひばりね、仕事行かなくていいの？
Kotori looked at the clock and called over to Hibari.
いいの？もう十分遅刻だから。
Well, that's one way of looking at it.
よくないでしょ。早く行きなよ。でももうちょっと小鳥ちゃんと一緒にいたいし。ダメ、早く行くの。ほら、ハットに襲わせるわよ。それだけは許して。
We remember what happened last time. Hibari stood up in a hurry.
じゃあお姉ちゃんもう行くわね。小鳥ちゃん、ちゃんといい子にしてるのよ。はいはい。それから。
Hibari looked at me.
お付き合いは清く正しく美しくよ。
Does she not trust Aoi for some reason? Kotori's face went red.
ハット。
And that is how Hibari died. Hibari left in a hurry as if she were being chased. Kotori?
いいのいいの。このくらいしないとお昼ご飯食べるまでここに居座っちゃうんだから。それよりお腹空いた。何かない？
Wait a second, I'll make something. I opened the fridge and surveyed the leftovers.
おかえり小鳥。アゲハ、元気だった？
Back at the secret base, Ageha and Kotori were excited to see each other. I'm sure they would have hugged if Kotori hadn't been in a wheelchair.
おお、小鳥だ。
Amane, who had been facing the computer and typing away, lifted her head.
あまねちゃんもいる。事故に遭ってないでしょうね。
そんなのあったりしないぞ。私はちゃんと免許も持ってるんだからな。
ダメよ。そういう慢心が事故の元なんだから。あまねちゃんはビクビクしてるくらいがちょうどいいの。
わかった。
Even though she hadn't seen Amane in a while, Kotori was already lecturing her. That side of her was cute, though.
実家どうだった？楽しかったよ。でも退屈だったかな。何にもすることないんですもの。そうそう、お土産買ってきたの。
Kotori lined up panda cookies and panda jam buns. All those sound good.
かわいい。食べるのもったいなくなっちゃうね。あまねちゃん、はいこれ。
なんだこれは。
交通安全のお守り。バイクの免許を取ったって聞いて慌てて近所の神社にお祈りに行ったのよ。
All the prayers in the world won't help Amane.
情念を込めておいたから肌身離さず持ち歩くこと。
うん、分かった。
No one questioned her emotion would enhance the charm.
でね、いっぱい写真撮ったの。
Kotori spread out the pictures again.
動物園行ったんだ。いいなあ。パンダだ。とっても可愛かったわ。パンダって本当に白黒なのよ。
Kotori spoke passionately while also showing pictures of tigers, lions, and crocodiles. It seemed that she had really liked the zoo. After listening to Kotori talk about her trip for a while...
私らもあんたに見せたいものがあるんだ。
Oh, that's right. That's right. They've been working on this.
何？何これ？
Curious, Kotori bent her head to the side.
まあまだ未完成だからね。この辺りにシートが来るわけで、もしかして私用のコックピット。ご明察。
Since there was no seat, it was hard to see what it was from just a glance.
本当は小鳥先輩が戻ってくる前に仕上げたかったんですけど、テストしながらじゃさすがに間に合わなくてね。でももうすぐ完成ですよ。
Kotori got closer and took a good look.
これが操縦桿で、こっちのレバーでラダー操作だ。両方とも手で操作できる。
もう一息で完成するから。そしたら飛べるよ、あんたも。ありがとう、みんな。
Everyone smiled back at Kotori.
さてと、じゃ今日の部活を始めますか。
Everyone was full of energy and set about what they needed to do. They made her a cockpit so she could fly.
本当にバイクで来たんだ。
Kotori muttered this while watching Amane start the engine. Amane, please be careful going home.
ああ、任せろ。制限速度はちゃんと守るぞ。
Amane prepared to ride away, then turned back to us.
じゃあな、おやすみ。
あまねさん、さようなら。さようなら。
The scooter carrying Amane chugged along slowly, following the speed limit, and drove away.
さて、私らも帰りますか。
The convenience store came into view. This was where Ageha would split off to go home. Ageha came over to where I was.
帰ったらちゃんと小鳥に甘えさせてあげなさいよ。
Hmm?
あの子ずっと葵の方を見てそわそわしてたわよ。
Okay.
それじゃまた明日ね。バイバイアゲハ。
Oh, I understood that.
おやすみなさいアゲハ先輩。
I shouldn't say I understood that. I actually, the longer I play this game, the more I understand what they're saying.
また明日。
Here we are. It's just that she spoke that one in English.
小鳥先輩、今日もお疲れ様でした。お疲れ様。
Same to you, Asa, Yoru. I'm sorry to always make you tag along.
別に暇ですから。
Why don't you two take a bath? Kotori, you too.
わかった。
Okay, during that time, I guess I'll do some cleaning.
行きましょう小鳥先輩。
Ah, that bath felt good. It was finally time for my bath after the girls. I washed off the sweat that had accumulated during the day and stayed in the bath until my fingers were all wrinkly. The best! kind of bath. The one that lasts an hour. Everything was quiet. Asa and the others must have already gone to sleep. I was walking down the hall, heading towards my air-conditioned room, when...
Gee.
I think she literally said peek. From a crack in the door, Kotori was looking at me. It seemed that she had been waiting for me to pass by. Hey, what are you doing? Kotori opened the door, came halfway out in the hallway, and restlessly surveyed the area. Then, after judging that no one was around, she came out and moved toward me. Kotori, who couldn't hug me from the front, took my hand from the side and squeezed it forcefully. Have we heard this song before? Maybe. Maybe not. She pulled on my arm as she told me, "Hey, not so hard! I missed you too." She let out a cute groan, then looked around again and led me by the hand as she pushed her wheelchair. "Where are we going?" She didn't answer. I was pulled into Kotori's room, just like that.
Hato, しばらく外に出てて。
Kotori threw Hattie out the door despite his protests. She blocked Hattie's pet door with a bag so that he couldn't get back in either. Then she took my arm and squeezed it again.
葵くん、会いたかったよ。
I missed you too, Kotori. With my other hand, I stroked her hair. I could smell the faint scent of her shampoo from her glossy hair. The lights were off in her room, and it was strangely quiet.
ね
Yeah?
え、浮気しなかった？よか
Of course not.
った。
As if out of relief, Kotori rubbed her cheek against my hand. Somehow, it felt kind of nice.
葵くん、お願いがあるんだけど。
What is it?
髪、もっと撫でて。
Oh, okay. She didn't even have to ask. I continued to stroke her hair. Her glossy hair was still a bit damp from her bath and felt different than usual. I stroked it softly. With a contented look on her face, Kotori trembled slightly. Do you like it when people touch your hair?
そうみたい。葵くんに撫でてもらって発見したの。
She answered while enjoying the moment. She was like a cat on catnip.
葵くんの手、大きいね。私の頭、すっぽり入っちゃいそう。
That's because you have a small head, Kotori. Kotori's head was round and had a nice shape to it. Her beauty was something else. Completely absorbed, Kotori squeezed my hand and brought it toward her chest. I'm sorry, what? That... I read the whole sentence before it hit me, what?
ね
The next thing I knew, Kotori was looking up at me, her eyes glistening in the darkness. As she was in a wheelchair, she was almost always looking up at me. It wasn't like she was doing it on purpose, but she was terribly cute like that. Then, all of a sudden, she puckered her lips and pointed them up towards me. You really are spoiled, aren't you? I gave her a peck on the lips.
え、もう一回。
I guess there's no choice. We kissed, lightly pressing our lips together.
にゃははは。帰省の前の日にキスなんてするから、もうずっと頭から離れなかったのよ。
Yeah, that has a tendency to happen.
枕にチューとかしてたんだから。
That does not have a tendency to happen. Sorry to have done that to you.
葵くんは なんだか余裕って感じ。私のことあんまり考えなかった？
Like I couldn't think about you. I kissed my pillow too.
本当？
Yeah, really. But the actual thing is much better.
でしょ？
Kotari was being shy. I kissed her again. She was always cute, but today she looked even cuter than usual. Maybe it was because I hadn't been able to see her for a while. Still holding hands with Kotari, I sat down on her bed. I looked around her room. This was the third or fourth time I'd been in Kotari's room. Even though we were close, it wasn't normal for me to be in a girl's room. You don't keep the light on?
ああ、もう寝ようと思ってたから。そしたら葵くんがお風呂から出てくる音が聞こえて。
So that's why she had been peering at me through the crack in the door like that.
あんまり見ないで。可愛くないでしょ、私の部屋。
That's not true. It's nice, in a simple kind of way.
だって物が多いと邪魔になるから。
Because she had to move her wheelchair around, there was basically nothing on the floor.
部屋だと本を読むか勉強するかハートと遊ぶくらいしかすることがないし。
I guess Kotari didn't really have any other hobbies. I had heard that she had been really sporty before the accident, so she probably used to have more active hobbies.
ねえ、隣に座りたい。
Kotari held out both of her hands. Alright. I went to lift Kotari up, but then waited a moment. How do you usually get into your bed?
ここに車椅子を置いて車輪が動かないようにロックして。
She demonstrated while she spoke.
でも葵くんには見せたくない。
Why?
なんとなくきっと変だって思うだろうから。
I had seen her get in and out of her wheelchair, and it looked quite difficult for her. Hi, Leandra. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. I was sure it was a lot of effort for her to normally get into bed. I took Kotari in my arms and held her close. I suddenly lifted her up so I could set her on the bed.
は
It must have been all too sudden for Kotari, and she went red with surprise. To be honest, I felt a little awkward about it, but Kotari was completely embarrassed. Then I sat her down on the bed. Or so I thought. Kotari tumbled backward and fell over. Are you okay? Kotari said shyly, facing away from me. It wasn't just awkwardness, it seemed she really was embarrassed. Oh yeah, it's cold here too. I'm actually wearing my fuzzy socks. I live in Texas. I have to wear thick wool socks to keep my feet warm. But hey, I'll take the cold over the heat. For Kotari, who didn't have the use of her lower body, it was easy to fall over when she didn't have a seat for support. I reached out to help her, but she didn't take my hand. I guess she was just embarrassed. You could just stay like that. I lifted Kotari's legs onto the bed, then got onto the bed myself and lay next to her. We gonna get a new key visual? Yeah, we are.
葵くん？
This is easier, isn't it?
でも近いよ。
Ah, man, this is a beautiful picture. I thought it would be better to be close.
近い方がいいけど恥ずかしい。
Kotari said as her eyes started tearing up. I brought my face close to hers and kissed her on the tip of her nose. Can I hug you?
ちょっとだけなら。
I hugged Kotari gently, enveloping her small body. Wrapped in my arms, Kotori let out a strange sigh. Your hair smells so good, like shampoo. Oh, this music is beautiful too. I pressed my nose to her hair and took in the scent.
葵くんは汗の匂いがする。
Oh, that's romantic. No way! I just took a bath.
でもいい匂いだよ。くんか。癖になりそうな匂い。
Seemed like she was serious. I unwrapped my arms from her and looked at her from the front. Kotori, I love you. Kotori looked back at me.
このまま眠っちゃえばいい夢見られそう。おやすみなさい。
She closed her eyes. Hey, don't go to sleep!
いいじゃない。葵くんに添い寝してもらいながら寝たいんだもん。ねえ、子守歌歌ってよ。
This is so adorable. Hi, Scuzzy Bum. How are you doing? Kotori, are you sure this is okay?
Huh?
Look at that smile on her face. She's so happy. Which you can barely see because of my stupid webcam. But there's a smile. There. I might play tricks on you while you're sleeping.
マジックでヒゲ描いたりとか。
Was she serious? Yeah, maybe.
鼻をつまんだり、ほっぺをつっついたりするのならいいよ、しても。
For some reason, it seemed that she wanted me to tease her like that. Okay, I'll just hold your nose until you wake up.
それくらいならいいよ。
Sure about that?
それ下手したら私が死んじゃうじゃない。
She only realized now? I'm not going to cover your mouth.
でももしそんないたずらされたとしても許す。葵くんだから。
I'm not going to do anything to you. Will we stream stuff from PS Vita? Probably not, Scuzzy. I do have a Vita, so we could stream off of the Vita. The problem is, every game that we put on the Vita also is on the PS4, and it's just easier for me to play the PS4 version, plus those are higher quality. Sorry if that's not the answer that you wanted, but that's the basic, simple answer.
知ってる。葵くん優しいもん。
Not to undermine the Vita, though. The Vita is a great system. I love mine. Kotori smiled at me. She just called me kind right after calling me mean, but I guess all that mattered was that she trusted me.
髪もう一回撫でて。
Huh? Okay. I reached out my hand and started to stroke her head once more.
はにゃー。
Oh, that's gonna put her straight to sleep. That's gonna put her straight to sleep. It really makes you happy, doesn't it? When I stroke your hair.
好き。すっごく好き。
She answered confidently. I feel so happy too.
私の髪を撫でるのが？
To be with you.
そっか。不意打ちずるい。
Her reaction was always so cute.
私も好きなんだから。葵くんのことすっごく好きなんだから。
You really lay it on thick. But I'm glad you do.
だって本当会いたかったんだから。
Kotori whispered as she inched herself closer to me. Well, now we're together.
だからこうやってくっついてるの。あの時の寂しさの分も。
Yeah, more people do need to stream from the Vita. I mean, clearly it's easier to stream from a PlayStation than from a Vita for I would hope, obvious reasons. Not saying that we'll never stream the Vita, just that it's incredibly unlikely. Basically saying don't get your hopes up. There's always the possibility, but... yeah. You're right, though. The Vita does not get enough love. She must have been really lonely. But it's strange. We were only apart for a little bit. But I missed you so much.
ほんと不思議。
Kotori nodded in agreement.
葵くんに会いたいなって考えながらぼーっとして、はっと気づいて時計を見ても数分しか過ぎてないの。実家の部屋での10分が1年くらいに感じてた。
Boy, that voice clip went a lot longer than I expected. Okay. I know how you feel. If time really worked like that, we'd be old and gray by now.
私がカメ？
Oh God, no. No, I didn't say that. You're a beautiful princess.
葵くんからお姫様扱いされた。
Are you pleased, my princess?
とっても。
I caught a glimpse of the pleased princess's smile in the moonlight.
そして葵くんは私の王子様。
I'm glad I'm not some old man.
玉手箱欲しい？
No, I think I'm good. She was such a tease.
じゃあ何が欲しい？
Let's see. I didn't need to think hard. Yeah, I already have what I want. I softly stroked Kotori's hair.
幸せ。
I'm happy that I finally got what I wanted too.
でも葵くんだって私のだからね。
Of course I am. Our time together like this was precious. I wanted it to last forever. Channeling that feeling, I softly stroked Kotori's head. Well, Scuzzy, I hope you know that Vita cartridges are no longer being made, so we gotta, make do with what little is still available. That means, unfortunately, spreading them thin. Trust me, I wish that they had bigger releases too, but... not our call, unfortunately.
もっと撫でていてほしい。
That's gonna put her straight to sleep. I will. Her smooth hair softly passed right through my fingers. It felt so nice to touch. I couldn't take my hand away. While I continued to slowly move my hand through her hair, Kotori closed her eyes peacefully. She looked so calm there with her eyes closed. Huh? Hold on. Did she... Kotori? My princess. Told ya. Told ya. I do this to my wife all the time. When she's going to sleep, I just pat her head for a few minutes. She's out. I know how this is. I can't believe this girl. Unable to hold back my feelings, I let out a laugh. In that moment, I was unmistakably in love with Kotori. I guess I didn't have to sing a lullaby. Anyway, I'd granted my princess's wish of sleeping next to me. Her sleeping face looked so content. I was sure she was comfortable there. More importantly, I was able to sleep next to Kotori. Nothing could make me happier. Good night, Kotori. I lightly kissed her forehead and fixed the blankets over her. I closed my eyes while taking in the sweet scent that floated about her hair. What a beautiful scene, man. Now that everyone's so happy, and they're just getting happier. It's so great. Another day of summer vacation. It had been a while since we'd been to school. Today we had to come to school. For the first time in 2 weeks, everyone in the classroom was catching up with one another.
みなせ、お前、ハバネさんと付き合ってるって本当か？
What's up with the sudden question? You're not going to ask a classmate how they're doing first?
それはお前が質問に答えてからだ。
The answer is yes.
くしょー！俺もこっそり狙ってたのに。
Yep, that's my R2. I'm not going to get too much into it, but it is life-size. I built it myself. It's all aluminum. It turns on, it makes the sounds, it moves around, all that stuff. I'm very proud of that. That's why it's in the background of my webcam. That's too bad. So, where did you get your information?
上司があっちで噂してたぞ。
Meanwhile, on the other side of the classroom,
水瀬君と付き合い始めたの？やっぱり仲良かったもんね。いやー、あの告白は伝説に残るわ。録音してなかったのがもったいないくらい。どんな告白だったの？
right, because Allie and Kotari confessed their love to each other, and the mic was hot, so yeah, that was fun. Yep, built it myself. If I'm not promoting myself or anything, but if you go to YouTube and search for R2B1, the video there, that's me going through the process of building it. R2B1, be like Boba Fett.
それがね、空の上で。
Hey, hey, hey! What kind of rumors are you spreading?
何って葵が作った伝説だよ。
Don't make it a legend. Come on, Kotari, you have to stop her.
いや、自慢したい気持ちも多少ありまして。お似合いだと思うよ。っていうか、まだ付き合ってなかったのって感じよね。
Yeah, exactly that, Scuzzy. I appreciated the compliment, but still... You're embarrassing me. Please cut it out already.
でも黙っててこそこそ噂されるよりいいんじゃない？
During Kotari's second year, she hadn't been very popular with the other girls. Now she had more friends, but there were still girls who held a grudge against her. So Agea was probably doing this to prevent any strange rumors from starting. But there's no need to talk about it like it's legend, is there?
そういやそうね。
Or maybe she was doing this for fun. Kotari, however, didn't seem bothered by it. In fact, she seemed happy about it. So it was hard to stop Ageha.
ねえ、いつから付き合い始めたの？一緒の寮に住んでるんでしょ？それってどうなの？
Kotari was bombarded with questions. Then...
ハバネさんはいるかしら？
Akari came in. Oh my goodness. No, do not perform a quick load. Whoa. Do not perform a quick load. We're good. Akari came into our classroom. Good morning, Akari.
おはようございます。水瀬葵くん。おはよう、生徒会長。何か私にご用かしら？ソアリング部の活動状況を聞いておこうと思って。あなたたち、学校内で活動していないでしょ？
Akari had approved our activities even though she had to go against the teachers to do so. I appreciate that, Scuzzy. I guess she felt responsible for our club since doing that.
新しい拠点が見つかったおかげで順調よ。機体の改良も済んで先日テストフライトもしたし。
When Kotari said test flight, the girls behind her whispered something about a legend being born. They were probably going to joke about it for a while.
そう、もうそこまで。 さすがやる気があるクラブは違うわね。あかりさんのおかげです。本当にありがとうございました。やる気があるクラブから活動の場を奪うなんておかしいと思っただけよ。今度テストフライトを見に行ってもいいかしら。ぜひ来てちょうだい。生徒会長の判断が間違ってなかったってわかると思うわ。
Akari smiled as Kotedi answered with confidence.
ええ、楽しみにしてるわ。
How many times have you heard that sound? Even though we were at school today, we didn't actually have any classes. We just had to meet with our homeroom teacher who was checking up on our activities during summer vacation. Of course, some people were away for the break, so not every student was present. Ageha, are you leaving after this?
今日荷物が届くんだ。それ受け取らないと。
Can't let that Amazon delivery guy slip through our fingers again now, can we? We were talking about our club activities. Of course, our destination was the secret base.
生徒会長、あっと驚かせてやらないとね。
Kotedi was in a great mood since Akari had promised she would come watch the soaring club sometime. I could tell Kotedi was waiting to show off the glider that we'd worked hard to remodel. We were just waiting for the elevator when Agea unintentionally let slip a cry. From across the hallway, a heavy, middle-aged teacher came lumbering down.
トビオカ。
When Mr. Tobioka saw us, his mouth formed into a meddling smile.
ようお前たち、先生に会ったら挨拶くらいしたらどうだ。
チース、トビオカ先生。
Agea, who had been in the robotics club, casually said hi to the teacher. Kotari, who continued to stare at Mr. Tobioka, refused to greet him.
お前ら、学校に許可なく校外活動をしているそうだな。
許可はもらっています。ちゃんと生徒会の承認は得ていますから。
生徒会？所詮は子供の集まりだ。勝手な真似は許さんぞ。
別に許してもらわなくて結構よ。
Kotari muttered to herself, not loud enough for Mr. Tobioka to hear. Mr. Tobioka frowned with disapproval. I really hate to do this, guys. I've got a BRB. Hopefully be back in just a minute. Bear with me. Okay, sorry about that. Hi, I'm back. Something about my cat? Don't worry about it. We're all good. Hello, Mr. Tobioka frowned with disapproval. Very serious. Okay. If activities are off campus and unrelated to the school, why should any teacher care about it? I finally snapped too. As expected, Mr. Tobioka glared at me as well.
倉庫から盗まれたグライダーの件がある。犯人が学校と無関係な活動にそれを使用しているなら処罰せねばな。
That was true.
せいぜい問題を起こさないよう気をつけることだな。
With his parting threat, Mr. Tobioka continued lumbering down the hall.
ムカつくまあまあ揉めてもいいことないって。そうだけど
If we had any enemies, it would be that guy.
せめて夏休みが終わるまでは穏便に行きましょう。そうね、モーニンググローリーを飛ぶっていう大目標を邪魔されたくないもんね。
Age has the cool head, isn't she? I wonder why. It always feels like she's a little too cool, like she's hiding something, which I assume we would find out if we went the Ageha route, which we couldn't even do right now anyway, because when you play this game through the first time, you have two choices. Basically go to Kotori route or the neutral route. I've decided to go to Kotori route because have you seen her? She's cute. After I play the game, that'll be it. I'm not going to do all the routes on stream or anything like that, but I'm definitely going to pursue the Ageha route and see what happens to her on my own. Because it really does seem like she's hiding something. Like she's hiding behind a mask. She repeatedly pushed the elevator button in irritation. Finally, the elevator arrived. The door opened and people started getting off. As we made space for the people...
やあ君たちおはよう。
Amane?
びっくりした。なんであまねちゃんが乗ってるの？
おほん。違うぞ君たち。私はあまねちゃんではなくて望月先生だぞ。
She said with a prideful swagger.
去年までモラトリアムの延長戦やってたくせに。その望月先生が何をなさってるんですか？
Aren't you a teacher from the second semester?
打ち合わせというやつだ。いろいろ大変なんだ。何せ大人だからな。
We know, you're an adult, we get it. She continued to brag. She really liked bragging about being an adult. See, I'm not the only one.
そんなに大人になりたかったんならさっさと卒業しとけばよかったのに。
おわ、それ言っちゃうか。じゃあな君たち。後で秘密基地に顔を出すよ。
Amane started to walk off down the hall. Some other students were surprised to see her as well.
あまねちゃんが学校にいるなんて不思議な感じ。
Isn't that kind of ironic? Because she was, a student when they first met her, but they never saw her in school.
いいなあ。私も特別講義受けたい。
Why don't you try putting in a request? Thanks to Amane, we were able to forget about the encounter we had with Mr. Tobioka.
じゃあ私は先に行くね。急がないと荷物来ちゃうから。
Stupid Amazon delivery guy. Alright, catch you later. Agea hurriedly left us. Well then, shall we head off too? I started to push along Kotori's wheelchair. Other students were on their way out too. Everyone seemed to be in a good mood. I guess coming to school during summer break felt like a special event. Pushing Kotori along, we slowly made our way out of school.
どう？シート合ってる？
私のお尻にジャストフィットしてる。
Kotori seemed a little nervous as she sat in the cockpit. We were checking the seat in the cockpit we had made for Kotori. It was finally finished. Was what I wanted to say. But...
まさか業者が部品を間違えるなんて。
Stupid Amazon delivery guy! The package that Agea had ran home to collect ended up having the wrong parts. Amazon! And because of that mishap, Kotori's cockpit was incomplete.
発送のやり直しで早くても明日になるんですよね。ってことはテストできるのは最速で明後日か。
As we were talking, Kotori was testing out the controls.
それが操縦桿で、こっちのがラダー操作ね。
There were no pedals in Kotori's cockpit. In addition to the yoke, there was an unfamiliar lever attached. So, how is it?
よくわかんないけど、いい感じ。でも
Kotori seemed somewhat apologetic.
前の席でよかったの？
Kotori's seat in the cockpit was in front of the other pilot. Agea glanced at me sideways. I guess she was signaling for me to explain. Don't worry about it. You're not the only one who's going using these controls. Controlling the rudder by hand probably would feel different, but with some practice, anyone could use it.
どうせなら前に乗って飛びたいんじゃない？もちろんよ。
She replied with excitement and continued to look at the cockpit like a child waiting to open their gift. We could tell that she really wanted to fly as soon as possible.
悪いけどもうちょっとだけ待ってね。
There was nothing we could do if we didn't have the parts we needed. So, I guess no testing till it's finished?
そういうこと。
We helped Kotori out of the cockpit and back into her wheelchair.
ちゃんとできてるじゃないか。
As if out of nowhere, Amane had appeared and was inspecting the cockpit. You could at least said something when you got here. Amane completely ignored my comment and continued to check the cockpit.
ねえ、あまねちゃん。あまねさん、呼んでますよ。
Being tapped on the shoulder by Asa, Amane raised her head.
なんだ？
Kotori went toward Amane.
あまねちゃん、ちょっとかがんでみて。
Amane became reluctant and cautious. She was probably traumatized by the karate chops Kotori always gave her.
いいから早く早く。
Amane leaned forward and Kotori reached out her arms. Hug. Kotori gave Amane a hug.
ありがとう、あまねちゃん。私のために設計図書いてくれて。
Like a koala on a tree, Kotori held onto Amane and shook her tightly.
よろしいぞ、小鳥。大好きだよ、あまねちゃん。
Kotori didn't let go of Amane until she was satisfied.
みんなもありがとう。あんたたちは最高の仲間よ。
Everybody looked at Kotori, who looked like she was about to cry tears of joy.
次のテストで早速飛んでもらうからね。
Kotori nodded with a serious expression, but we could tell that she couldn't wait to fly. Just a few days away. Oh no, I'm running late! My mother had called earlier, so for the first time in a while, I went home to see her. We talked about my work as a house mother, and she also told me that she wanted to see me more often. After that, I had to rush back to the dormitory to prepare dinner for everyone. Hello, I'm back! When I got back, Asa pointed at me and raised her voice. What is it?
小鳥先輩、小鳥先輩。
どうしたの朝？
葵先輩、帰ってきましたよ。
What is everyone up to? Jeez, what's this all about? While I was still confused as to what was going on, Kotori rushed down the hallway in her wheelchair. Kotori pulled up right in front of me and grabbed my hands.
葵くん、葵くん、葵くん。
What? What's wrong?
朝、
Asa stepped forward as she was called.
小鳥先輩はテストの日が待ち遠しすぎてうずうずが止まらなくなってしまったのです。そんな小鳥先輩の心を満たしてくれるのは葵先輩だけ。もう2時間も前からけなげに帰りを待っていたのです。
I see. Sorry for keeping you waiting. Why did she make Asa explain? Here you go. A present. A 6-pack of Hagen Dutch. There's some for the others, too. I had gotten the ice cream from my mother.
ご飯の前に食べていいの？
Hagen Dutch is Kotori's favorite ice cream. Also, it tastes off of real ice cream, which I've had, and oh man, it's good. Sure, of course. Dinner's going to be a little late anyway.
美味だわ。ご飯の前に食べるという背徳感がまたたまらない。
ねえ夜ちゃん、半分こしようよ。いいわよ、姉さん。
Everyone started eating the Hagen Dutch. Kaneko was probably off somewhere else, though. By the way, Kotori, do you have any plans for tomorrow? Since we weren't able to do any tests or club activities until we got the parts, we were totally free tomorrow. As Kotori ate her ice cream, she shook her head. Would you like to go see a movie?
映画？
Yeah, my mom gave me some tickets. I was thinking we could go together, if you want. My mom had gotten the tickets from a customer. She had given them to me as a reward for working hard as a house mother.
朝。
Kotori called Asa over and they started whispering.
小鳥先輩、これってデートのお誘いですよ。デート行くといいと思います。
でも映画か。
You don't like movies? Even though they were whispering, I was still able to hear them.
そんなことないよ。見たい、葵くんとなら。でも
Kotori stopped eating her ice cream and began pondering. There shouldn't be a problem. The theater at Wendy's has spots for wheelchairs. Kotori looked at me in surprise, like I had read her mind or something.
じゃあいいかな。
Yeah, it's decided.
よかったですね、小鳥先輩。
Kotori giggled in joy. Well, I have to start getting dinner ready. Could you give me a hand when you're finished eating? Kotori nodded and continued to gulp down her ice cream. So is Asa her new best friend? At least a friend now. It was morning, and the next day had arrived. Sorry to keep you waiting. I had a few more things I had to take care of before I joined Kotori, who was waiting at the entrance. What's wrong?
なんかいつもと違うね、葵くん。
I played dumb and pretended to look over myself. To be honest, I was kinda dressed up. Today we'd been given our first real date. I had to dress up. We'd been out walking and shopping together before, but this would be the first time only the two of us went out together. Of course, I had to spruce myself up a bit to match the occasion. Kotori sighed as she looked at what she was wearing.
私 私も着替えてこようかな。
I think what you're wearing is fine. You look good, and it suits you. That, and we have to make it to see the movie on time. Kochiri didn't look pleased, but nodded.
じゃあハット、行ってくるわね。お留守番頼んだわよ。
わ
After Hattie flew off Kochiri's lap, I pushed along Kochiri's wheelchair as we went out the door. It was Sunday. It was typically everyone's day off, so Wendy's was especially crowded. Hey, it is Sunday. Consistency. Kochiri was amazed by the number of people.
それにすごいおしゃれ空間ね。
Wendy's had been built recently, so the interior had a really modern design. All of the people coming and going were all dressed up and enjoying themselves. The last time I'd been here had been when Tatsuya had brought me. I'd been okay that time, but today I felt a little out of place. I had grown up around here, but actually I didn't come around here too often. Kochiri, you grew up in Tokyo, right? You must have been to lots of places like this. I imagine there were lots of shopping malls like this in Tokyo.
お母さんやお姉ちゃんとなら来たことあるけど、それも昔のことだもん。でもすごくデートって感じがする。
Right? Excuse me. There's no doubt about it. Coming here was really different from what we normally did every day. We normally stayed around the same places with the same people, so coming elsewhere felt fresh.
生まれて初めてのデートだもの。特別なのがいい。
Aw, me too. Kochiri mumbled. Really? I figured you would have at least had dating experience. Kochiri shook her head.
今日が初めてよ。葵くんとが初めて。やっぱりちゃんとよそ行きの服にすればよかった。
Aww. So, what made you change your mind?
気合入ってるって思われるの恥ずかしかったんだもん。でもいいな。これ一番気に入ってるやつだから。
Yeah, you look great. Come on, let's go to the movies. Japan's leading commercial complex, Wendy's, also had a cinema. There were all kinds of movies to choose from. We could use our tickets for any of them we liked. Which one do you want to see?
これ。
The movie that Kochiri chose was a war movie. The fighter plane on the poster must have caught her eye. The movie took place in Europe during World War II. It was the love story of an Air Force ace pilot. The movie wasn't bad, and it was good to watch on a date. Kochiri got excited during the flight scenes, bubbly at the love scenes, and looked delighted with the happy ending.
かっこよかったよね。最後のドッグファイト。恋人を乗せて夜空のデートもすごくロマンチックだった。
After having just seen the movie, Kochiri continued to sing its praises. Those types of old-fashioned planes are interesting, aren't they?
ええ。でもエンジンで飛ぶなんてちょっと邪道ね。
I wouldn't go that far, but I couldn't deny that planes and gliders had their differences.
ねえ、どこかにゴーグル売ってないかしら。あれ絶対に必要だと思うの。
Are you planning to use them during the test flight? Kochiri nodded. Haha, well, you don't need them. Our glider has a canopy. During flight, we never opened the canopy. We would only open it if we had an emergency or we needed to parachute out. I'm kinda getting hungry. How about some lunch?
それ私が出すね。
What's this all of a sudden?
だって映画おごってもらっちゃったから。
But I told you, my mother gave me those tickets. And my mother had gotten them for free too.
でも
At least let me treat you to lunch. Let me do something a boyfriend would do. We only just started dating, but there hadn't been any significant change in our relationship. Before we started dating, we had always been good friends. The only difference now was that we had confessed our true feelings toward each other. And we had kissed, of course, too.
そんなことないもん。葵くん、いつでもとっても彼氏らしいよ。優しいし、かっこいいし、十分すぎるくらいだわ。
You think so?
そうよ。この私が言うんだから間違いないわ。
Kotori stated with confidence. She'd always been full of confidence at the most random times. But let me treat you to lunch. I've got some money for working as the house mother.
わかった。
So, what do you want to eat?
ね。
Kotori opened the floor guide. There were tons of fancy-looking restaurants lined up in Wendy's.
ここがいい。
Which one? Are you serious? Kotori nodded insistently. It was Taioken, the ramen shop owned by Masa's dad.
私、ラーメンって食べたことないの。
Really? Really? Wow. Man, you're missing out. What?
そんなに驚くところ？
Well, it was indeed surprising that there was someone who'd never had ramen before.
うちじゃ外食するとき、ラーメン屋に行こうなんて誰も言わなかったから。
I completely forgot, but Kotori did come from a rich family. Her father was the gentleman type, the kind who wears a suit even in summer. Alright, should we go to Taioken then? And so we headed to Taioken.
美味しかった。ごちそうさま、葵くん。
Kotori patted her stomach in satisfaction. You're welcome. It didn't feel like a place for a date, but if it made her happy, I was okay with it. On top of that, it was probably cheaper too. I'd introduced Kotori to Masa's dad, who then gave us a massive discount, making the meal practically free.
豚骨ラーメンってあんなに濃厚なのね。私、また食べたいかも。
We can go anytime. Masa's dad will probably give us a discount again too. Since Kotori was my girlfriend, and since she was so cute, she'd received a warm welcome from him.
息子に似てお調子者だけど、いいおっちゃんだったわ。
Feeling full and satisfied, we wandered around Wendy's. There were all kinds of shops here. It was mostly clothing and accessory shops, but there were also other miscellaneous shops and even a dentist. Usually I had no interest and I wouldn't have any reason to come to a place like this. But today was different. As we passed one of the clothing shops, I noticed some clothes that might suit Kotori. Say, Kotori! These Kotori! For some reason, Kotori was frowning as she watched another couple. What's with the angry face?
別になんでもない。
Was she irritated at their clinginess? No, we were on a date too, so that couldn't have been the reason.
ねえ、葵くん、ちょっとこっち来て。
Sure. When I went over next to her, she held my hand all of a sudden. She started to push her wheelchair along with one hand while holding my hand with the other. Hey!
ほら、早く行こう。
I guess she wanted to hold hands with me. Couples usually held hands or linked arms, although some placed their hands on each other's waists. It wasn't exactly like I was jealous or anything, but...
よいしょ、よいしょ。
While we are holding hands and walking, I noticed that people were looking at us in surprise. Even I could tell that Kotori was having a hard time pushing the wheelchair with one hand. Hold on, stop.
何？
You're out of breath. Don't push yourself.
無理じゃないもん。いつも学校まで往復してるんだから、このくらいなんでもないわ。
Compared to the average girl, Kotori certainly did have more energy and power. She was even able to climb up Windmill Hill on her own. Even so, it was a lot harder for her to use just one hand. It's making me tired, so let's stop. I let go of her hand.
だって後ろにいたんじゃ葵くんの顔見れないんだもん。
Aww, bless her.
せっかくのデートなのに。
It hurt to see Kotori feeling so downhearted. Alright, how about if we stand side by side? She didn't seem satisfied, but she nodded in agreement. I thought that it might be hard for Kotori to push herself along, but maybe I was overthinking things. It was definitely better being able to see each other's faces. Tell me when you're tired, okay? Don't overdo it.
分かってます。もううるさいな。
And so, side by side, we walked around Wendy's. There were places I wanted to go, but we had plenty of time, and there was no need to rush. Hey, these clothes are nice. There was a light blue dress hanging in a shop window. It was the color of the sky, and I thought it would fit Kotori perfectly. Kotori was looking at the same dress. See that dress there? Do you like it?
別にちょっと見てただけ。
I think it would look nice on you. I compared the dress with Kotori's reflection in the shop window. Without a doubt, it would look good on her, I thought.
どうかな？似合うかな？
Even though she was doubtful, she did seem to like it. I wonder if you can try it on.
いいよ。面倒だし、それにお店の人にも迷惑かかっちゃうもん。
I stuck my head into the shop and met the eyes of a female shop attendant.
何かお探しでしょうか？
Would it be possible to try this dress?
いえ、別に何でもないです。ほら、行こう。
While the shop attendant was trying to talk to her, Kotori sped out of the shop. Hey, wait! I was still looking at the dress, but I decided to chase after her. The shop attendant smiled in understanding as I left the shop.
ドキドキした。
What did you run off for?
だって絶対迷惑だって思われるもん。
If they thought that, they would have just avoided us.
もういいの。服なんてお姉ちゃんに買ってきてもらうから。
You didn't like that dress?
そんなことないけど。でも、もういいの。さあ、行こう行こう。
Well, after that, Kotori seemed gloomy. Since we had already watched the movie, she was likely to want to go home any minute. What do you want to do now? I think there's an arcade around here. We stopped and looked for something interesting in the floor guide.
ちょっと疲れたかも。どこかで休みたい。
I was relieved that she didn't say that she wanted to go home. Sure, let's see. Shall we check out over there?
あそこって？
Actually, there was one more place I wanted to check out. The shop that you always wanted to go to. Kotori looked puzzled. The place you said has the delicious-looking Napoleon cake. Taking the hint, Kotori gasped.
カフェフラックス！
Going to Cafe Flags. This had been on Kotori's to-do list. Cafe Flags was a famous pastry shop known for their delicious desserts. Kotori had scratched it out after she found out that it was a dating hotspot. As luck would have it, Cafe Flags was right here in Wendy's.
でもあそこって高いんじゃ。
Don't worry about it, I still got plenty left. Also, lunch was pretty cheap. Come on, let's go.
おお。
There was a waiting line outside of the cafe. The rumors were true. It was a pretty popular store. The people waiting were mostly young couples and older ladies with shopping bags.
ふわ、すごい人。
It's probably that good.
並ぶの？
Of course. And then 30 minutes later, wow. We finally got inside and were taken to our table. Oh, we got another key visual. When we entered, the hostess moved a chair out of the way for Kotori.
こんなお店なんだ。
Kotori was amazed by the interior design of the cafe. I looked around the cafe as well. Then I opened the menu. Whoa, this place is expensive. The cheapest cakes were around 800 yen. $7? The tea was about the same, and the most expensive drink was over 1,000 yen. And their most popular Napoleon cake was 1,300 yen. I sure hoped it would be good. I'd been pretty angry if it wasn't. Keeping my opinion to myself, I asked Kotori about the menu. What do you want?
じゃあミルフィーユとダージリンティーで。
The Napoleon cake and an iced tea. Sounds good. We called a waiter and placed our order. Finally, we can try the famed Napoleon cake.
楽しみ。
She still sounded down. She was probably still overthinking things. I'm sorry about earlier.
なんで葵くんが謝るの？
For making you feel uncomfortable.
違うよ。葵くんは悪くないもん。ただ、
Coach Lee stopped talking mid-sentence. I waited until she was ready to talk. She nervously looked up at me.
私なんかとデートしてて楽しい？
What? Of course I am. I replied to her sudden question. Coach Lee glanced over to the other tables around us.
私のせいで目立っちゃってるでしょ？
I feel so bad for her. Bless her heart. I looked around and noticed that we were catching attention.
さっきここに入ってきた時もすごく見られてたし。
Is that what was bothering you?
だって私こんなだから一緒にいて葵くんこそ嫌な思いしてるんじゃないかなって。それに服もこんなだし手だって繋いで歩けないし。
Okay, it's time to call an emergency group hug session. Everyone, hug this girl! Girl needs cheering up! Huggers assemble. Kotori gradually started to look down. When I said those clothes look nice on you, I wasn't lying.
そうかな。
They're your favorite, right? Kotori nodded her head in acknowledgement.
お姉ちゃんが選んでくれた服だから。
That wasn't surprising. Hibari had a good eye for knowing what would look good on Kotori. But at the same time, it made me jealous that I wasn't able to do that. I thought the clothes from earlier would look good. You seemed to like them too.
私みたいな子がおしゃれするのって変だって思われないかな。
I don't think it would be strange at all. To be honest, it's strange that you're not.
そうかな。
You just said that we stand out, but I don't think it's because of the wheelchair. People are looking because you're cute.
違うよ、そんなんじゃ。
You already know and say that you're beautiful all the time, don't you?
それはそうなんだけど。
She could admit it herself, but wouldn't agree when I said the same. Kochari was cute. To be honest, she was extraordinarily beautiful. That was why people couldn't help but to look at her. If there were people staring, it was because they saw a beautiful girl in a wheelchair and they were wondering what her story was. Of course it made Kochari feel uncomfortable, but it wasn't something to feel down about. You're cute, Kochari. So much so that people want to look at you. And I'm really happy to be able to date a girl this cute, so don't feel so down.
葵くん。
Kochari let out a small laugh. You should keep smiling. That makes you even cuter. After all, you're the cool Alul.
あ、それ忘れろって言ったのにまだ覚えてた。
Haha! How can I? Every time I remembered it, it made me laugh. Kochari straightened her back, put a smile on her face, and then swept her hair back. It's because when they first met, she wanted him to remember her allure, but she mispronounced it, so Alul it is. I'm known for my cool Alul. When she said it wrong with so much confidence, I couldn't help but laugh.
もう意地悪なんだから。
Grumpy Kochari was also cute, so I wanted to pick on her more, but I had to restrain myself. Instead, I put my hand out on the table. Kochari noticed, and she put her hand on top of mine. We can hold hands anytime, you know. Besides, who can have a date in a glider soaring in the sky? Probably only us, right? All the people dating on Wendy's right now would be jealous of us for sure. Kochari blankly stared at me.
そうだね。
Looking a bit embarrassed, she nodded. She looks beautiful in this picture. So keep smiling. When your smile shines, it makes you even more beautiful.
ありがとう、葵くん。
As she smiled for me, a waiter brought the tea and cake to our table. Kochari pulled back her hand since the waiter saw it and smiled. Then they placed the plates on the table. Her eyes widened in joy as soon as she got a good look at the cake. I can tell that you're excited. You look like you're about to drool. Kochari hurriedly wiped her mouth.
だってほら、見てよこれ、このミルフィーユ。
Of course I saw it. I had the same thing in front of me.
神々しいオーラを感じない？絶対美味しいよこれ。見ればわかるもん。
As Kochari expressed her joy, she examined every corner of the cake. The layers of crust were countless, and each had slices of strawberries and deep-colored custard. Aw, man, that looks good. I wonder if this kind of cake exists in real life. And on top of the cake was whipped cream and big red strawberries. The strawberries were coated with gelatin and glittered under the lights like jewels. I could agree with Kochari. It certainly looked good. I guess feeding you with dessert is the best solution when you're angry or depressed.
そんなことないこともないこともないもん。
Which was it? In any case, you seem to have cheered up. Kochari nodded brightly. I was really happy to see her cheer up. Let's eat! Kochari nodded numerous times.
ごくりでは
With trembling hands, Kochiri gripped her knife and fork and brought them to the cake. As she slowly put the knife into the cake, the knife cutting into the crust made a subtle, delightful sound. She took a slice of strawberry, some cream, and a little crust with her fork and carefully brought it to her mouth. That was so adorable! Kochiri brought her hand to her cheek and let out a joyful cry. The staff nodded in satisfaction when they heard her compliments.
甘すぎず酸っぱすぎず口の中に広がる濃厚で芳醇な深い味わい。これは幸せの味なのです。
The cake was so good she couldn't stop praising it. Let's see. Munch. Wow, this is really good! First came the sweet and sourness of the strawberry, then the sweetness of the cream to balance out the flavor. Then there was the crisp and crunchy crust of the cake. All of this added up for a rich taste. Without exaggerating, it was the best cake I'd ever eaten in my life. The only time I really eat cake is either on a birthday or Christmas. I'd probably never be able to say another cake was delicious after eating this. Kochiri seemed to be enjoying the cake from the bottom of her heart. I was a bit disappointed that the cake was able to cheer her up where I hadn't been able to. But it further confirmed to me that giving her Hagen Dutch was the best way to cheer her up.
紅茶も美味しい。もう昇天しちゃいそう。
While she praised the teas, she searched for something under her wheelchair. What she pulled out was Isuka's flight log. Do you always carry that around with you?
大事なものなんだもん。
Her wheelchair had gone through things that a regular wheelchair normally wouldn't. It had been through rainy days, running at full speed, going down hills. On top of that, it had crashed a few times and been covered in sand when we had gone to the beach. We even had to fix the frame when there had been dents in it. Since the diary was always kept within the wheelchair, it was pretty beaten up as well. Kochiri opened the diary, which had gone through quite a lot. She stopped on the page with the things to do list. She took her pen and ticked the complete checkbox under the entry, Go to Cafe Flags.
これでまた一つコンプリートできたわ。
I thought she had completely given up on that. Kochiri gazed at the page in satisfaction, then turned her attention toward the cake. Then she turned to me, and she just stared at me.
やっぱり今が私の人生のピークなのかも。
Huh? What are you saying?
こんな優しくてかっこいい彼氏ができて、頼りになる仲間たちもいて、空を飛びたいっていう夢ももうすぐ叶う。こういうのをリア充っていうのよね。
What do you mean by that?
リアルが充実している人のことよ。私はきっとリア充ね。
She stabbed her fork into the strawberry.
このミルフィーユがこんなにも美味しいのは葵くんがいてくれるからだもん、きっと。
As she spoke with a serious tone, she threw the strawberry into her mouth. I guess that's how happy she was. My girlfriend, when feeling down or when feeling great, was unique in her own way. Alright, there's just one more thing left to finish your list. Kochiri looked a bit confused. I pointed at the item at the top of the list. Cross the corridor in the sky. The part that Isuka had left. As Kochiri nibbled on the... oh man. Nope, not even gonna try. She looked at that section.
この夢もきっともう叶うわ。
The Morning Glory was supposed to appear by the end of summer, and that was coming soon.
葵くんがみんなの思いを乗せて連れてってくれるもん。
That may not be the case. I was chosen as pilot because there was no one else suitable. But when tomorrow comes, that might change. It was a little late, but it seemed like Kotori realized what I wanted to say.
無理無理無理無理。だって私これから練習するのよ。
I was in the same situation last year and I flew. When I think about it now, it was absurd. It was actually dangerous.
葵くんは飛んでみたくないの？モーニンググローリーを。
I do. I really, really want to. I had been so close last year, but I hadn't been able to make it. Since then, I hadn't been able to stop thinking about it.
じゃあパイロットは葵くんでいいじゃない。何にも問題ないわ。
Kotori said calmly and gently as she took another bite of that.
もう変なこと言うからドキドキしちゃったじゃない。
Kotori's face was as red as the strawberry on the cake. It's been red this whole time. Look at her. She's so adorable. Okay, finally a good stopping point. Okay.
データを上書きするけど
We will be
大丈夫？
picking. Wow, look at that timestamp. 9:33:33. How about that? All right, we will be picking up where we left off next Sunday. So, yeah. As a reminder, if you want to get caught up on the series up until now, we do archive all of our streams at youtube.com/EastAsiaSoft. Also remember, there's still a few days left to take advantage of PlayAsia's $49 free worldwide shipping deal. If you buy $49 worth of stuff at PlayAsia, you get free worldwide shipping, but only through the end of November. So if you want to pre-order Love Kami Trilogy, which is made by the same devs who made this game, or you could pre-order Love Esquire, and there's also a few games that have already released that we have a few physical copies of left. Head over to PlayAsia, buy some stuff, get some free shipping. Everyone wins. So, yeah, I'll be back Tuesday, speaking of, to continue my playthrough of Love Esquire. Should be a whole lot of fun. I'm loving that game. Man, EAS does some really good VNs, don't they? So, I'll be back Tuesday to play Love Esquire. I'll be back next Sunday to continue my playthrough of If My Heart Had Wings. Thanks to Leandro and Scuzzy for being here tonight. On behalf of East Asia Soft, I have been Skull. Have yourselves a great day and a great week, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye, everyone.